Some SMG4 feeders and channels was not a perfect anymore doing with a stupid downfall of their share. Hi guys and girls, this is Oxford and Charlotte in the Stevenson here, and welcome to top 10 reason why 2022 of SMG4 beginning of downfall. And this last, we're going to take a look at top 10 of these stuff why SMG4 of 2022 was beginning of the downfall of the franchise. And some SMG4's franchise and features will not be perfect anymore for the rest of the franchise, like what Logan did back in 2016 through ongoing. Now let's go on with the feature itself. Number 10, Rob Bell and Wimpu being the side characters instead of being main characters. During these 2022 of downfall, we had Rob Bell and Wimpu being the side characters rather than being the main characters, like it was used to be dead on 2020. It like that way. Now it didn't. Now in current special 2021, during the SMG4 slowly run out of ideas for holiday special, was focused on Mario again since 2019. 2 years already doing these stupid idea run out. Despite the Bell, Wimpu and Rob was being a side characters, it did not count as a downfall just yet until Mario get into NFTs. Why did they be a side characters, you may ask? Well, because it was absolutely very, very outdated real quickly. And Mario get into the NFTs, that SMG4 features beginning on the downfall, like Mario get into NFTs. To see Rob Bell and Wimpu was being a side characters rather than being the main characters, and it's downright outdated real quickly. They cannot get at a bit more Becky's main role like what they did on 2020, like it was used to be that. And also I haven't really liked the screen time on 2021 like that way. But why did Bob Bell and Wimpu need to be a really side characters rather than being a main biggest role like what they did on 2020 like that? Because look at SMG4. If that wasn't for these three being a side character, it would be deserving more main biggest role like that. I mean, why do we need some side characters like that instead of being a main role? Really, SMG4, really. Number 9, lack of holiday special during a run out of ideas. That is one of the most biggest problems during 2022 of SMG4 downfall. It's run out of holiday special, run out of holiday specials ideas, like Valentine's special and Halloween special back then. And why would we not have Valentine's special back in February 2022? Because we had Uncanon, Meta Mario. Because of these stupid run out of ideas like that way, and nothing else can do about that. If that Ruby Mega had a bit more screen time rather than being a cameo or minor like that back then, that would be the problem. And Halloween Special, on the other hand, its point of view, your Mario, it's still kind of Halloween Special, but because of these troublesome ideas, we had that stupid Mario Ball instead of Halloween Special, doing these troublesome ideas for Halloween Special until point of view, your Mario, yes, it's still kind of Halloween Special, but with really slowly lack of awesomeness like that. I mean, what is up with that ideas SMG4? Why? Number 8, Karen Castle and Depresso are very weak characters. Now, let's look back at second half of 2010s like Bob, Virtual Broken, Mega Schumann, Psycho Toei, and so on. They are becoming very recurrent characters back in second half of 2010s, along with Andy Cat from 2020. And yes, I forgot to mention about that because the first half of 2010s of SMG4 was quite fantastic at the start. Yes, because they start off the use of recolored Mario for the start doing their early SMG4 videos, and it's quite fantastic as usual. And second half of SMG4 of 2010s, it was replaced with the main characters and Garry's mod or style like Maggie, Psycho, Bob, Special Broken, Tori. Well, let me try this again. Well, in second half of 2010 of Essence for Kevin, instead of recalling Mario like what they used to have in first half of 2010s and second half of 2010s, we had Bob, Special Broken, Maggie, Shumi, Psycho, Tori, and so on, becoming recurring characters in second half of 2010s, and also the anti-cast on 2020. It did not count other than 4, but Desmond 4 was still really fantastic videos as usual in second half of 2010s. It's still same Essence 4 as usual, despite have new characters first debut back in second half of 2010s and Andy Cat in 2020. It did not count also than 4 as well, because and it's still fantastic as usual despite having some characters being recurrent and instead of recalled Mario. But if you look at 2022 of current characters of Depresso, they are not a really best characters. And it's very aggressive characters, really are like that. Like Karen, who always smack Mario a lot, as well send Mario to the dumpster during her first debut and Mario documentary. Kaiso, who also cut my head off, and it's just too similar to Psycho first debut. Depresso was also supposed to be Troublemaker Clown, and yes, he was first debuted on Mario How to Do Some, where Mario tried to get a suitable outfit. And we can see Depresso all appeared in the cameo until his proper first debut, and the Clown Fever. At the end of it revealed he was a Troublemaker Clown. And it's still weak characters. If that would be Jeffrey, Jonathan, Barbara, Karen, and Penelope, that these characters wasn't bad enough. Well, if not, well, it's these 3 stupid characters like Karen character and Depressos, and it's really pointless characters we ever expecting to the first debut doing these stupid damn 4. If that would be count other side characters instead of Robert and Wemper like that, like what they're not supposed to be like that. Maybe they should had Jeffrey other side characters instead of Robert and Wemper like that. That would make more sense like that way. To have Jeffrey Monitor being side characters instead, and Toadworth. Cannot forget about that. Instead of Robert and Wemper, I forgot to mention that back in number 10 like that. But also Karen character Depresso, it's not a fan favorite character either, because of these being a weak role and annoying as well. I really hate Karen the cat as well, because always attack Mario like that. It's almost close to be similar to Susie from 2019-2020 of SMG4, but it's not as close to be that. So yeah. Number 7, it doesn't matter if Psycho Essence for SMG3 Bob and Fisher Borkins had new redesign or not, but it still remain downfall. Kaiso and Psycho, she is the first characters to be redesigned first before SMG3 Bob Fisher Borkin had back in 2022 during near the end of main games against Mario. But that still doesn't say about that like that. And all the same go to SMG4, SMG3, Bob and Fish Booking. Despite being a new redesigned characters, it still doesn't say about that still, because it won't save entire SMG4 franchise and channels from downfall, because it still downfall as it remained. But look, I know it sounds a bit too similar to lock-ins and plush Nintendo character replace with human puppet instead of just Nintendo character, or because of it cease and well whatever like that. Also, with design these characters like Psycho, SMG3, Bob and Fisher Boken, it did not save from the downfall, because whether this year or whether later on, it still downfall as it remained, like what Logan did, because redesign doesn't help to save it from downfall like that. So yeah, it's very unfortunately moved like that way for redesign characters like that. Number 6. Too many criticism and controversial features. Now let's take a look on this for a week here, because there is just really no joke like that, because unlike one of these features in 1 year instead of multiple, and this year it's just multiple instead of 1 year. If you look at that, as 2022 of SMG4, yeah, it's just a downfall. If you look at this, it said do not enter which criticism of Mega and Psycho. Well, that did not sound like a bullying, but it sounded like murdering Maro. Where's Maro, despite him starting it in the first place, and inclusion of Kaiso. And Maro meets a demon and is shortly beheaded. The inclusion of Kaiso and criticism, like we already talking about that, about Blooper being similar to Doga Doga Mario Club, yeah, because of these ran out of ideas like that. If Mario was the last man on Earth, that is really torture feeders we ever expect that. Doing my stupid lie and several ploys lie. Fans through the action of SN4 Skins and the Red Motion Kingdom are mean spirit and unfair towards Mario. What all the fat talents started to deface with this for SN3, Victor Boken and Bob, it still won't save from downfall and like that. And How to Train Your Mario was massive criticism on Zack and Mario's characters was very mean spirit. Especially Karen used Luigi as her hench men like that was really not on. We always know we deal like that without being used by these like Karen. I mean, really. I know Mario Get Let was almost close to be controversial, but close to that, yeah. And the meme games that have nothing to do with that. Yeah. Number 5, Old Man with 3D model design instead of 2D, and like Egg instead of Bath. Back in Old Man first debuted and War of the Fatal in 2011, the people who don't know where he came from War of the Fatal in 2011 where his first debut. And he's like Bath a lot instead of Egg, but what the hell happened to Old Man just now? And the most annoying thing about it, he said Egg, where the many fans find the bit jump the shark. and it's very annoying. I mean, what old man was supposed to be airs like that? A bath lover. He was supposed to be bath lover, not the egg. He's also said that again in my documentary, or even a bit more annoying until they finally got removed it later on in the same year. Look, SMG4. If they had old man still make more sense in 3D mode, they just had him in a bath instead of stupid worthless egg like that. And it's just not that funny at all because it's quite irritating like that. Number 4, it doesn't matter if story arc is fantastic or not. Now, like a way to talk about redesign by that back then. The story arc, it still doesn't matter if it's fantastic or not, because the version of this year was already the beginning of the stupid downfall, or before lead to, right before the God box and the movie. Doesn't matter if it's fantastic or not because of these downfall like that. And the lower arc, were known as the lawsuit arc, we know it's still fantastic. It's lasted 7 features, yes, we know that. But it still doesn't say about it to save from downfall either, because the rest of this year was still downfall as usual. Despite to see Paul Torrey not being having screen time on lawsuit arc, because it's just nothing else can do about it. That's it. Number 3, lack of SMG1 and SMG2 screen time. Now we haven't talked about that yet because SMG1 and SMG2, they both don't have a screen time a lot so often since last year. I know they both have a little bit of screen time in last year of SMG4, like 2021, but I still don't say about it in this year. And this year they haven't really lack of screen time, no joke. Yeah, there has been more screen time in Revolution arc, but that still doesn't matter like that way. If that would be still had a bit more screen time for rest of this year, that would be a problem like that way. If SMG1 and SMG2 being a awesome characters like that. I mean, they're just very important characters as well. Like what Belle, Wimpu, and Rob were supposed to be as like that. Look, SMG4, we hope these two better give a bit more screen time for rest of the rest of the two like that way. And same go to Rob, Wimpu, and Belle a bit more screen time as well in 2023. Just give them a biggest role already, with a main role already. If it were you. Number 2, Mario's being the main antagonist. Yeah, but now do these downfall of SMG4, well, more like beginning of downfall of SMG4, like Mario get into NFT. Mario's being a really main antagonist in this year. What's his biggest problem about that? It all started in Mario get into NFTs. That SMG4 beginning of downfall. Yeah, I told you it's a beginning of downfall because Mario being a main antagonist. Despite Mario being a main antagonist for this year, it started with NFTs features that SMG4 of beginning of downfall. It's very pushed to the goddamn limit. It's not just Mario getting into NFTs, there's meme games and how to train your Mario known as Know the Boy Wasn't Behave. I mean, why we bother have Mario being a main antagonist like that? Yeah, because they ran out of ideas like that. That is why I asked. If that would be, if that wasn't for Mario being a main antagonist, then that would be Team Killer Inc. leader instead. Either Mario or Martian Robber Oh yeah, I forgot about that Martian robber. Who always robs stuff like that way. Now, let's take a look at number 1. Too many SMG4 and his gang attack Mario as a punch bag. Poor Mario always been attacked by SMG4 and his gang as a goddamn punch bag. If you not pay attention about that, why SMG4 and his gang attack Mario as a punch bag, no care then. He was being shot by Maggie while Megan and Bob dealing with Old Man Sloshy. Yeah, that was Mario's own fault. He got hit by SMG4 and SMG3's power at the end of Revolution arc. He's nearly been murdered by Megan, Psycho and Melanie and do not enter out. He was being head cut off by Kaiso. Being thrown by a small car by his enemy in games. Present in the cage along with Zack, that Karen's sons by Luigi and Karen. And even make matter fucking worse, SMG4 and his gang, as well as the Martian Kingdom, attacked Mario at the end of, as Mario was the last man on Earth, was downright ultimate torture. Poor Mario was being a punch bag. If that wasn't bad enough, if there wasn't bad enough, like Jerry, it been a punch bag against Mario / Marvin from Super Mario Logan, well, known as Super Marvin Logan, then see Mario being a punch bag by SMG4 and his gang was really not on. And if Mario was the last man on Earth, was really messed up at the end like that way to see SMG4 and his gang as well. The Martian Kingdom attack Mario like a fucking punch bag. It's just Apple loses ultimate torture after Mario fall down onto giant pizza by an accident. You cannot blame somebody else's who jumped right against giant food doing it for because of these insanity or hallucination. Because it's very difficult to see what's up ahead until you realize that you're on the real world for whole time. It's not Mario's fault, but who fault is SMG4 and his gang and the whole Martian Kingdom. And yep, that was their own fault, not Mario's fault. It was their own fault. So these write about that to get Peter Stain by Mario's worst accident. It also makes us feel so sorry for Mario for being a punch bag like that. And so unforgivable as well. So, what do you think about this videos of top 10 reason why 2022 of SMG4 beginning of downfall? Please leave comments below. Please subscribe and follow me in my channels. Link in the description below. Follow me in my TikTok, my Twitch, my Discord and my Patreon channels. Click that bell for notification. And peace. Oxalate Ninja 2017. I hope you enjoy it. Peace, Oxalate Ninja 2017.